Thank you for tuning into today's live stream. Prayer and Share with Ed and Amy will begin soon. Please share this live stream with your friends and family or anyone who may need some fellowship.
Wake up the morning fresh and bright. Ed and Amy lead the light. We gather hearts around the screen for love and hope to intervene. They share the word and spread the cheer. With every story, wipe a tear. Your faith is stronger every day. With Ed and Amy on the way. Prayer and share, it's time to unite. In every whisper and every lie, join hands together, night or day. Ed and Amy show the way.
Thank you for tuning into today's live stream. Prayer and Share with Ed and Amy will begin soon. Please share this live stream with your friends and family or anyone who may need some fellowship.
From life's valleys to the peaks, they bring the strength that everyone seeks. Lifting spirits up so high, with Ed and Amy by your side. Every prayer, every care, join in love with hearts so fair. Feel the joy that's in the air. With Ed and Amy we declare, oh, prayer and share, it's time to unite. In every whisper and every lie, join hands together, night or day. Ed and Amy show the way. Every prayer, every care, join in love with hearts so fair. Feel the joy that's in the air. With Ed and Amy we declare, prayer and share, it's time to unite. In every whisper and every lie, join hands together, night or day. Ed and Amy show the way. The way.
We're all set and ready to go, and we hope you are too. Now let's go live to Ed and Amy Boston for Prayer and Share.
Let's go to Ed and Amy Boston.
Live.
Live. Live or a live?
I hope both.
Oh, yeah, there. I don't
Yeah,
know.
you're live.
There has been doubts with you on a few occasions.
I only die every once in a while.
Well, I mean, you've been near death before, and
Yeah, but I snap back.
you've you've kind of looked dead in your sleep before. Had to reach over and feel, or your hands would be so cold while you're sleeping that I'd like put my hand underneath your nose to feel if there was
That's creepy.
air coming out.
That's
Right.
creepy.
So we're live and alive here tonight. In front, we used to be in front of Coon's Corner way back when. I don't know what we're gonna. Amy's.
Pioneer Wonderland.
There you go. And her Pioneer Wonderland. She's even got a mug that looks very close to Pioneer Woman.
It's
I
about
mean-
as close as you can get without being the original thing.
And you look at the, well, they probably can't see the table very well, but I mean it's like we coordinate the.
The tablecloth is Pioneer Woman. Well, it's really not a tablecloth, truth be known.
But we're using it as one. Earlier she was using it as a blanket.
Well, it's because it is.
Oh well,
But it matches everything. See, it matches my cup.
now you won't be able to see this because he is watching on YouTube, but Uncle Dougie is watching us.
Hi, Uncle Dougie. I love Uncle Dougie.
Uncle Dougie, he is quite the fellow. He is.
He is amazing, is what he is.
He's got pretty good taste, you know, and
Well, first it shows that by his wife.
well, I was kind of going to go there.
I mean, you can't get much better than Amber.
And
She's a sweetheart.
I think they were both blessed with each other. And well, for the most part, he has good taste. He
Right.
is a Columbus North person.
Well, that speaks volumes right there. Shows where his moral compass points.
Well,
Enough said.
enough said. Enough said.
See, I said enough. You East people would say nuff.
Well,
Nuff said. I said enough because I speak good grammar.
yeah, we know you're the preppy uppity one in the family.
You'll see my shoes?
Right. No, that means I'd have to show my pants.
Yep. Don't match.
Well, yeah.
But they are blue.
Oh, and Amber is watching too. She's watching on Facebook,
Hi, Amber.
and she said go Columbus East.
Huh?
And
What direction you driving?
well, if you're watching us right now, and I know there's several people, and we most of the time don't know everybody who is watching, throw a howdy or something, you know,
Howdy. There's another one.
or if you're from
Shows
north,
what direction he is now.
if you're from north, put hello.
Oh yeah, yeah. We're so uppity, and yeah, that's it. We just know how to speak good grammar.
Yeah, right. That's what you're known for, good grammar.
I am like the grammar Nazi,
Well,
speech Nazi.
you know, we're going to talk tonight a little bit about some answered prayers.
I'm worn out. I gave 3 of these 4 hooligan dogs of yours baths today.
And I'll take care of the one that'll be like,
Well, I couldn't fit her horse body in the shower stall.
we'll take,
Her and I would not fit well.
we being her and I, will go outside and get a good, proper German Shepherd bath in.
Where all you East folk take your showers.
Outside?
Yep.
Boy, I started that one and I see tenacity in my future.
That's a big word for you.
I'm
You looked that one up real quick on Google, didn't you? Tenacity.
I did not. But duh. Okay. So with Doug and Amber here, and most people that if you're in here, if you know Doug and Amber, it's because you're one of our really inner circle friends here. but not
What?
necessarily. No, no. Listen to what I'm saying. Not necessarily uh, just a friend here through prayer and share or the ministry and the things we do online. Uh, Doug made a comment that we'll show here real quick, and he said, "Okay, you're an ambulance." And so, hey, Trevor is watching on. We got a lot of variety here. X, YouTube, uh, my Facebook page, Prayer and Share Facebook page. We got people are coming from all directions
Well,
tonight.
evidently nobody likes me because nobody's watching on mine.
Well,
But that's okay. I'm not feeling the love.
I will keep
It's all
you.
right.
I will keep you updated. But
It's all right.
we got to explain. Okay, you're an ambulance.
Okay, you're an ambulance.
So you share this little frustration that turned into a comedy routine.
Well, where I work is a community corrections, and we have some very entitled participants, clients, inmates, whatever. And this guy was just bound and determined that he was going to go to the hospital, and he threw a temper tantrum, and he was bound and determined he was going, and he kept telling me that he wanted an ambulance, and he told me that I was going to call him an ambulance. You are going to call me an ambulance. I'm telling you right now, you're going to call me an ambulance. And he just kept it up, kept it up, kept it up. And I finally had about all I was going to take out of this guy. And I looked at him and he said, "You're going to call me an ambulance." And I said, "Okay, you're an ambulance." And I shut the door and walked away and left him standing there. And the rest of the pod was dying laughing. This guy just was standing there. So he was from then on an ambulance.
So my question is, and I don't know if I ever knew the answer to this, if we ever got that far. Did he go to the hospital?
Absolutely not. Yeah, no, he
Well,
sure didn't.
that would bring into play. I'm sure that some people would show concern that a person was expressing the desire to be seen medically and might say, why did you deny him that opportunity?
Well, if he was in need of medical assistance, I would have by all means showed concern and would have had him seen and had an ambulance brought to him and had him taken to the hospital. But if you got enough energy to stand and scream and yell and demand I call him an ambulance, he got what he wanted. He got called an ambulance.
So what you're really saying is that in 28 years of experience, you know when an inmate is.
I'm pretty up on those kind of things, and I can pretty much, I have some discernment on whether it's a medical necessity, need to be seen, or have an ambulance on the scene. That was not one of those.
And you might share that there are many times that it's out of your hands. And what are some of the things that you have had to call an ambulance for?
And a lot of times it is, and it is policy to unfortunately call ambulances a lot of times for participants that think that their emergencies are emergencies, but they are not. We've had to call for ingrown toenails, and they've had to be transported to the hospital for an ingrown toenail. We've had to have clients transported to the hospital for period cramps. which is really, really frustrating and embarrassment to call an ambulance. And when they start questioning what's the emergency, and you have to say, I have a participant that's got an ingrown toenail or a period cramp, and the EMS or 911 caller is like, excuse me? Yeah, I'm sorry. You heard me. And it really, it's a waste of resources, but sometimes the policy states you have to do it. So yeah, there's some crazy, crazy things. I have a headache. Well, if I went to the hospital every time I had a headache, I'd have my private suite right there. I'd have my own furniture brought in. It'd be decorated in Pioneer Woman. Yeah.
Well, we got a couple of greetings in here. Troy Evans said, hello, friends. Love you.
I love you too, Troy.
And Joe,
he's amazing.
Joe says, hi, Amy and Ed. We love you guys bunches.
Hi, Joe. Hi, Patty.
What? And
we love them.
We do. And can we brag on Patty a little bit?
Oh, my goodness. This lady.
Well, before you go, now remember, we're going to talk about answered prayers in several other cases, but since they just popped in, let's go ahead and lead with this one. We're not done with other stuff, but go ahead with this one.
This lady is a huge, huge answer prayer. She has had bad knees for so long, and she has waited and had shots and shots and shots and seen the doctors and put her own health off to be able to take care of other people. And she finally got so bad that she had to have something done, and she did finally. And this lady has come miles. She had a total knee replacement, and
we've got pictures of her knee looking like there was a cantaloupe.
Yeah. Before she had surgery, her knee was so swollen and big, and I mean it just looked painful to see the picture.
Mm-hmm.
And it was heartbreaking to see just how. I mean, you just knew she was in pain. You just knew it. And then when she had the surgery, and now so I have a picture of her walking down the street that they live on, and she has just done so well. That's a huge answer to prayer.
And she's a pretty determined person.
Absolutely. Well, you can say that about 5 more times.
I just kind of.
That's my sissy for you. Determined is a mild.
Casually slip that in there. Well,
she don't let nothing hold her down.
Earlier, Doug said that Amber just laid an egg. Let's see how many eggs we can get with this picture. It says Ireland is imposing a 125% tariff on imported U.S. goods until we agree to take back Rosie.
No, we'll pay it. Don't want her.
I kind of want to make tonight, just laid back but we do talk current events, and that was this week. Rosie came out and said that she had moved to Ireland. The funny thing, in addition to that, the Irish Prime Minister was at the White House like the next day. What odds are that? And a reporter, as they were doing their press time, asked if he knew that Rosie O'Donnell had just moved to his country. And Trump was hilarious. He said, first of all,
You're welcome.
Thank you for asking that question. That's a really good observation. And then the guy talked for a second more, and Trump said, you really don't want to know her, the Prime Minister. And it was Peter Ducey. Hey, Trevor threw that in there real quick. It was Peter Ducey from Fox, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Ireland, you're welcome. Yeah,
and
I'm surprised they'll ever speak to us again.
well, it's a good thing he already had that White
Already had
House
that
trip
plan?
scheduled because
Yeah,
you know that didn't just happen overnight, and so he gets home and figures out Rosie.
yeah,
You know what disappoints me about Rosie is that
everything.
well, no, this part. She is in one of my very favorite movies ever made.
There's no crying in baseball,
That's right.
and I've never seen the movie.
A League of Their Own.
Never
That
seen
is
it.
one of my very favorite movies. And she did a really good job. Her and Madonna were buddies in
Two
this
really
movie.
pathetic people.
And that I always have a hard time when actors, musicians, entertainment in general that I dislike for their political issues,
Right.
but love their what I love their job. It's their job. Music's their
Right.
job. Acting is their job. You know, Bruce Springsteen. I loved Bruce Springsteen music. I've seen him in the Born in the USA tour in 1984. One of the best concerts that I went to in my entire life. I mean, it was great. Whoopi said, Trevor said Whoopi in Sister Act. But think about it. We love Sister Act
Oh, absolutely. I love that movie.
and Sister
I
Act
lived in
2.
both of them. Yeah, I love both of them.
And, and Troy makes a perfect point right here. He says it all. They should stick to acting and stay out of politics.
Absolutely.
And that kind of segues into another thought here, in that there is a movie out, a new version of Snow White. And I don't know if it's all Trevor should probably take this segment and tell this story, but he's not here. It is a modern
There
version
should be
of
an Ed and Trevor.
well, there could be. There's a modern Snow White, and there's been so much controversy. There was controversy about the seven dwarfs because some people think you can't say the word dwarf in society today. But here is the big deal. The girl who plays Snow White.
Well, if her slipper fits so perfect, why'd she drop it to begin with?
Well, she would probably tell you, well, no,
Or was that Cinderella?
that was
Oh, never
Cinderfella.
mind. Cinderfella.
Cinderella.
That was the most amazing movie ever. Jerry Lewis. Oh my goodness.
Troy Evans just said dwarf, dwarf, dwarf.
He's got the right.
There's Mary Bailey in here now. But so the girl who is the star of this new movie, Snow White, is a huge liberal. Now, she ain't really even old enough to have an opinion, okay? I mean, she is very, 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 very young. And
2, 3.
well, no, I mean, I don't know for sure. I'm going to guess very early 20s. I could be wrong. You know, she certainly doesn't know everything about everything, but she likes to comment. And Disney has had to put out so many fires that she has started.
I'm shocked. Disney's so liberal anymore.
Well,
It's ridiculous.
But they are backpedaling
I bet they are.
horribly. They, you know, with all of the woke now being not so popular thing, they are backpedaling like you've never seen.
I bet they are.
And they've had to put out so many fires that this girl set.
It's what happens when they get deep into those pockets.
And, you know, I didn't I didn't plan on this going this way. This actually just kind of went that way. Or I would have quotes that she had to, I mean, she said some really, 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 I try not to say stupid so much anymore. You know, it was like my favorite word on Red, White, and True because everything,
Was stupid.
and still is,
But you got to say it right.
well,
You don't have that.
yeah.
That's stupid. It was stupid.
She, Disney is going to have to put a clause, Troy said it, stupid.
Stupid. It's stupid.
Disney's going to have to put a clause in their contracts where the people are going to have to run things on their social medias like this is a big time. It's
Well, it may keep them from getting sued and things like that.
they've had to gear back.
I bet.
The red carpet. I mean, they've had to scale things down so much that this girl has caused serious problems about a movie that you would think ought to be.
You would think. But when they start taking the good classic movies like that and remaking them, you screw things up anyway.
Well, we
were sitting in a restaurant yesterday and heard people talking about witches and what kind of witch and all that. And we had no idea whether they were talking about a movie or a person. And we weren't, and we're still not convinced that they were talking about a movie.
Well, I couldn't tell if they meant that the person was, like the B word,
Right.
that kind of witch, or if they meant, demonic witchcraft.
Yeah.
And so I couldn't tell.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, that's, I guess, what we get for dipping, but you need
Well, they
to
were
quiet
right
your
behind us and
conversation a
talking.
little bit.
I mean,
Yeah, they were pretty loud.
well, Bill and Tanya are in here, and Megan is in here.
Maggie Doo. It's a Maggie Doo.
Yes.
I
is.
miss your face, Maggie Doo. It's a Maggie Doo.
It is.
All on your page because I'm not feeling the love on mine.
Megan, we are going to do prayer praises here tonight. Megan wanted to share that she's been getting back into reading the Bible.
Megan, come here because I want to kiss your face right now. I want to kiss your face.
She always wants to kiss your face.
Absolutely.
She'd probably make it all slobbery in there.
I would. I'd be like a basset hound kiss.
Well,
I would be like Jack over Piggy Sue.
and you have to, I know that story. So, but there's like 3 of us that know what she's talking about. That would be Megan, Amy, and by,
Default.
Well,
Because you're
I do,
stuck
but
here.
yeah, well, whatever.
I love my Maggie.
She says it's been such a great experience. I'm feeling God and Jesus, and it's been so wonderful. And now you're going to make your aunt cry. Father, it's prayer and share night, and we're enjoying our time sharing, but we
All right. Well, they probably see me there. Oh.
Is your volume up?
It's here, and they're going to get busy now. You gotta turn it. I'm not sure what happened there, but now it's
Well, you told me to turn it.
because it. Okay, I'm gonna. Satan didn't want us having an enjoyable time tonight, and he certainly didn't want us talking about prayer requests
Absolutely
and
not.
praying prayers of thanksgiving that our niece was back into the Word, and
Nope. That's what happens. That's what happens when you get back into the Word and you're.
did you look at that comment?
Absolutely. You're exactly right, Megan. Now Satan was trying to call you.
Oh, was he?
Wow. Yeah, that's definitely. Now you're gonna get dizzy again. It's probably gonna be too big with the case on. Shut it off.
Folks, I really apologize. Troy just rebuked, so we're good.
We're good. Whoops.
We may have. Put your hand on the back of my seat. Okay, we'll be all right.
Turn it just a tad, and then. Well, I think it. I don't know.
We can adjust if we need to. I'm not really. That's not the same problem that I was having for a long time.
Well, you came close to figuring it out. Satan didn't like it.
Well, I did figure it out.
There you go.
It
Satan's got to throw a cog into the gears.
So we'll get back into the saddle. Back in the saddle
Again, yeah.
And say, Megan, we love you so much.
Absolutely.
And we do give God praise, glory, and honor.
Absolutely.
Take care, Troy. I bet wonder if he's got to work tonight.
No, probably.
Oh no, he said good to go, not got to go.
Oh, there you go.
Good to go. Okay.
We'll teach you these people to read.
Ha 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 ha. Well, the one thing that did was gave some time that actually Trevor sent me a the girl's name in Snow White. You'll find this stuff interesting, and it's interesting how we went that direction. Rachel Zegler, Zegler,
Zegler.
Yeah, who stars as Snow White in Disney's live-action remake, has faced backlash for several comments she made about the original 1937 film and the remake's updated narrative. So here are some of the things she said. She said the original Snow White was extremely dated when it comes to the ideas of women being in roles of power and what a woman is fit for in the world. Well, now you might think that 1937 would be a little bit different than 2020.
Absolutely.
So, boy, there is genius at work there. On the prince's role in the love story, she said the original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her.
Oh, come on. Oh my goodness. That's good old fashioned what they call it. When back in the day when a guy wanted to go out with her and
Yeah, there's that word. Court.
courted her. That's exactly it.
She says, so we didn't do that this time.
Well, no, because nowadays the first date you're jumping into bed together. So probably the modernistic version.
And it tells you how long these were said back in 2022, and they've been putting fires out and fixing things ever since.
Well, that's sad.
We absolutely wrote a Snow White that she's not going to be saved by the prince. She's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be. Obviously, supporting feminism there.
Well, open the door to your own chariot then.
She revealed she had only watched the original Snow White once as a child and never picked it up again because it scared her. She revisited it for the role, but admitted, I was scared of the original version.
Oh my goodness.
And so, if we have we probably not changed your opinion with it being a Disney show, and Troy said courting and snowflake, Bill and Tanya. Why in the world would somebody show their ignorance of talking about a 1937 cartoon movie as if it was real life in 2025?
Yeah, that's. Oh my goodness. Did you see what Megan broke his neck when he had a seizure? Wow.
Here's more that Trevor just threw in there. She's pro-Palestine, and the actress who plays the evil queen is Israeli. You know, I hope that she is being paid by a percentage of profits and that it's a miserable fail. And then
That's really. Mm-mm-mm. Wow.
Well, Beth is in here now,
Hi, Becky.
and we will get that prayer request.
Absolutely. Wow.
And well, we've got quite the good crowd in here tonight. The numbers keep growing, and this is Prayer and Share. And we are to the point where we probably ought to share a couple of those wonderful answers to prayer. That one of the things that we love is when something happens that is an answer to prayer that you know without a shadow of a doubt that only God could
Absolutely.
cause that to happen. And there's been so many things lately, and not just somebody that has leukemia and a broken neck. It's not just those kinds of prayer requests. Um, we were in Indianapolis yesterday,
Yeah.
and by the way, I had a urologist appointment and I had a cystoscope done. Uh, didn't find anything negative there, so we are kind of back in a holding mode, hoping and praying that God has healed that situation. Not had any problems for a couple of weeks, and um, so we're just going to continue to believe that God's got that taken care of.
Absolutely.
But on the way back, we decided that we wanted to eat at Golden Corral. And yes, all praise to God on that one. All prayer requests that are answered. But yes, I try not to stay on my topic too long because there's way better that we're sharing tonight. So as we went to Golden Corral, we saw a person that we knew.
Yep.
And this person, I text, said, "Hey, we just saw you," and said, we're going to Golden Corral. Hungry?" And he politely said, "Well, I'm always hungry, but I'm covered up right now." So we went in, we got our food, we prayed, and in my prayer for food, I just mentioned the person that we're talking about, and I need to get rid of that. There it is. I mentioned in my prayer for our food the person that we had just seen, and to keep him safe because he was working out in traffic, and so we seen this gentleman last night, and he said, "Did you pray for me when you seen me today?" I thought, well, that's an interesting question. I pray for people a lot, usually when they request it. And, I pray for people without being requested. But I said, well, Amy popped up instantly. And, oh, this person is listening. And since I didn't have, I wasn't sure if,
Permission wise?
yeah, permission wise. So Randy Bailey is who we're talking about, Mary's husband. And Randy, I'm glad you in here, Doug in here, but
Oh my goodness.
we might as well just
That's
have
all a
Bible.
dream team that we got in here.
We might as well have Bible study right now.
Absolutely.
But he said, "Did you pray for me?"
See, that gives me goosebumps again.
And Amy said, "Well, yes, he did."
Matter of fact, he
He
did.
did. And Randy shared that he'd been having computer issues Wednesday and Thursday. And shortly after I prayed for him, right almost with, and I didn't pray for anything specific other than safety, keeping him safe. He got a call and he got an email from two different people almost at the same time, telling him how to take care of the situation, and it worked.
Absolutely.
Now, you say, well, that's all just coincidence. You just happened to be going by there at the time that that email was going to get there, that the phone call was going to come in. I don't believe in them kind of coincidences.
No, absolutely not.
And had it not been God, why would have Randy said, "Did you pray for me?"
It's not coincidence. It's God. It those two that got a hold of Randy had all day to have done it,
And the day before.
and the day before. And it was within a few minutes of us praying for him that they got a hold of him. So that's not a coincidence. That's God at his best doing the work that he does. And so that relieved a lot of stress off of Randy. I mean, God's just so good.
Absolutely. And let me emphasize here that I get no credit. Amy gets no credit. We want no credit.
Absolutely
No
not.
credit is due to us.
No, heavens no.
We share these kinds of things as a testimony that God answers prayer.
Absolutely.
And God cares. Randy is glad that he's more than just a person now. He said, that's more like it. But we're going to share a couple other ones. Shoot, my phone is up there. I have a note. We have a couple that we won't mention their name that have their grandparents. They have 3 of their grandchildren that live with them. They've got more than 3 grandchildren, but they've got 3 that live with. They got 6, and because of issues with the parents of the 3 that are living with them, they have basically full custody of their grandchildren without having full custody of their grandchildren.
Right.
They do everything. They pay for everything. They get nothing in return. And this couple went to court a week ago yesterday to get guardianship. Now, you might say, why is that even important? Well, all they wanted was to be able to get the grandchildren placed on the wife's insurance because they were footing the bill for all medical expenses out of pocket.
Absolutely.
So that's all they wanted. And Amy and I went along with them, and another couple did as well.
Well, and even not just they were footing the bill, it's whenever the kids had to go to the hospital or to a doctor, they had to jump through every hoop in order to get the kids treated because they were not a parent. They didn't have the custody issue, so they had to get a permission from a parent in order to get the kids treated. Well, those parents are not available for permission. And so that was one of the biggest issues of all,
Actually,
is to try to get a hold of or try to get permission to get the kids treated.
and that's true. In their eyes, that was more important than even getting put on than the financial issue
Right.
that was there.
Right.
And thank you for adding that part in.
That's what
because
we're here for.
That's so they went to court. The wife did the speaking, and two couples, Amy and I, and the lady's brother and sister-in-law were there. And the judge was
Kind of him-hawing. I mean,
to me, I was kind of disappointed
Right.
in the way the court took place. You know, it's something that by the time we left, they should have known the answer.
Yeah, I think so too.
And it took a week to get the answer, which is fast.
Yeah, in a court.
And so we got word this morning that they were given guardianship. And
Yep, which is absolutely amazing.
these folks are amazing caregivers, grandparents, parents. I mean, they're raising them in their formative years.
Right. Yep, absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
so you might say again, well, what's God got to do? Well, actually, the very first response from the court was negative, not a negative ruling, but it was a negative, not official response, but a negative question about how people were notified.
Right. Yeah.
Which and it started the day we were there too, that the judge made reference to that right out of the chute.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so
Well, but the best part, well, one of the best parts to me was the six of us stood right outside of the courtroom doors and prayed right before we went in. And that started the court off the way it should have been. We went in with this issue bathed in prayer before we went in. And to me, God made the decision for that judge. I mean, it was made before we walked through the doors.
Freud just said God has everything to do with it. Everything.
100%.
And
Absolutely.
Bill and Tanya, we raised our grandson 16 plus years. And the judge there that day even made mention of how many times grandparents raising children
Absolutely
ends up in her courtroom.
And she actually thanked them and said, and I appreciate every grandparent that steps up and raises grandkids.
And she raised her game as the hearing went on. By the end of the hearing, that's when she gave that phrase out. And so if you're a grandparent raising your children's children, thank you for what you do.
Absolutely. And we know another couple that was there that has raised kids that weren't even their family, raised their neighbors' kids, and has done things that were unbelievable for people that weren't even their family, that they've taken into their home and done things for, because they believe that that's what God's led them to do. So when you take that approach to things, that you follow your heart when God tells you that's what you need to do, and it's confirmed that that's what God's telling you to do, then that's what you got to do.
Yep.
And they have raised people and taken care of people, and I mean, so much so that this man stopped on his way to church one day and saw a bicycle outside, leaned up somewhere that was like in like a trash dumpster, and he picked it up and put it in his car and fixed it. And a few days later, took it to a little boy that was in need of a bicycle. They didn't know the kid. He just saw them out and asked him, and went back to his house and got the bike and took it back to him.
We got a couple more prayer issues that we will put in with prayer time, but I wanted to add this Lionsgate and Kingdom Story Company, I Can Only Imagine 2. Now, look at that. Let me get over here.
Man, oh man, that's gonna be amazing.
I have
A structural sediment.
big news. Why is that there? Go away. Big news for faith-based film fans. Lionsgate and Kingdom Story Company have announced the cast for I Can Only Imagine 2, the highly anticipated sequel to the inspiring hit that grossed over $83 million. Joining returning stars John Finley, Trace Adkins, and Dennis Quaid are Ariel Keeble, Joshua Bassett, Sophie Skelton, and Sammy Dell, alongside Milo Ventimiglia. And I probably butchered that one. This film continues the true story of Bart Mallard, lead singer of Mercy Me, and promises to complete his journey in a powerful way. Production begins next month in Nashville, directed by Andy Irwin
I knew that was coming. I just was
and
wondering what.
Brent McCorkle. You don't know this one, but so as a pastor, as a entertainment promoter, I am so excited that Kingdom Story Company is back on another one. Kevin Downs is going to be one of the executive producers in this one. And wow. You know, we've just started last week for Bible study watching The House of David. And you can get that on, where was it, Paramount Plus that we're watching, I'm pretty sure.
I thought it was Prime.
It is. It is.
What do you think
Oh,
of that?
It is Prime Video. And it's been a very, very, very interesting 2 episodes. You can actually binge watch it yourself since it's on a streaming service and not in the movie theaters. They're doing it somewhat like The Chosen, in that the first 3 were released, and then now they are releasing a new episode each week, so you can binge watch up until I think episode 6 now, and then next week you can watch episode 7. The week after you can watch episode 8, and I think that's what it is for the first season. And it's been interesting in that we've had to stop the movie playing a couple of times
Yeah.
just to ask questions. Is that what the Bible said? And so then we end up in the Bible and looking, and
Well, ain't that why it's called Bible study? Amber, did you do your homework?
Bye, Mary. Tell Randy we love him.
Oh, Mary's leaving?
Gotta run, she said.
Bye, Mary.
And we love you too, Mary.
Absolutely.
Don't just tell Randy. But it's making us dig.
Yeah. And we discuss while we're doing it.
And so we promoted House of David before it opened. We are going to continue to promote I Can Only Imagine 2. We have promoted things for Great American Family, and on Tuesday during Red, White, and True, told about Great American Family has made a complaint to the FCC that YouTube TV will not negotiate and bring them on and allow their stuff to be on YouTube TV streaming service.
Wow.
And so the FCC is involved. The chairman of the FCC sent a letter to YouTube that they have to address questions involved there. But this is something that I had posted earlier this week, but I wanted you to see. And Great American Family is saying, act now, tell YouTube you want Great American Family. Everyone deserves access to family-friendly, faith-based programming. And now it's time to make your voice heard in support of Great American Family. Email YouTube TV now and tell them to carry Great American Family. And then there are 2 email addresses there and sign Great American Family. So,
Wow.
yeah. And there was a reminder there that forgive us sometime. No, forgive me. This isn't an Amy issue. It's an Ed jumps around. He'll think of something that he was talking about a few minutes ago. Pointed out that we know a couple that are raising their grandchildren due to a very horrible tragedy.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
yeah. There is Angel in here. Hi, Angel.
Hi, Angel.
Are you moving to Columbus, dear? Troy asked about The Chosen, The Last Supper. We are actually, as a Bible study, going to go and watch.
Well, you know what? We talked about that, but we never made any for sures.
Well,
But
we did.
Oh.
The for sure was that I would get the information on what theater and,
well, okay.
and
Well, I guess
all
you're
of
right.
those things. So, yes, and yes.
I can't wait.
So by the end of the month, we're going to be in a conundrum
Another big word for the East guy.
because we won't be done.
Conundrum.
We won't be done with House of David.
Well, I think we should take Uncle Dougie's
Suggestion
and
binge watch one
binge
Thursday night?
watch.
Well, we'll let people know in advance.
We might need to start a little early.
Well, we might need to just start from the very beginning instead of waiting for a
Well,
longer time.
It may not hurt to start a little early.
So maybe we'll do that. Maybe
Beth says absolutely.
you guys are so good. And yes, Troy, the 28th is the day that we're planning on as a Bible study go. So we're not sure on times and details and all that. That's my job to come up with. But
See, we could start Bible study early and then sit around. I can get the little popcorn popper out and pop popcorn. And it'll be like a movie.
I'm convinced I'm in.
It'll just be fun.
Troy and Sonia have already got their tickets, which means I need to get it on it quick before it's all sold out.
See how they roll. See how they roll. Tanya's on it. I don't care if it wasn't even. They were talking about making the movie, and Tanya had her tickets bought.
And see, this has been a great experience tonight because Bible study wise, hopefully this makes you want to be in the Bible study if you're around here. Dougie says he's in if only if we can go to Applebee's after we're done. And
We'll shut the place down.
now, let me just say this too. For those of you who aren't around here and can go to Bible study, maybe this would be probably an Ed project.
I still love to hear that.
What?
That it's an Ed thing and it's an Ed problem and it's an Ed project.
And that wasn't sarcasm either, was it?
Absolutely not. I'm serious.
Maybe we're at the point where I need to do an online Bible study separately than the one we did here. Because let me explain why we don't put our Bible study online. Is when we started Bible study at the Father's house, there was a request made of a person who is a new Christian and had questions that they would like answered. And so I said at that time, and we've kept that going, that we would not put Bible study in a live stream so that people could feel comfortable to ask questions, participate, be themselves, not be camera shy.
Right.
And we're going to do that. We're going to continue
Yep.
that without a shadow of a doubt. We are going to continue that. That being said, there have been requests for online Bible study. And it just, it'll take some logistical work on mine. It will, my part, it'll probably mean that I can record it live, but more than likely it's going to have to be one where you go to on your time frame. And so I'll be praying about that. How about answering it that way?
There you go.
My prayer list is over
Oh,
there,
no.
but I can get most of it up here. It'll take just a second.
Tanya is so efficient that when they started negotiations with this movie, Tanya was in the works on ordering tickets because she is just that good.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
Tanya is on top of everything. Megan said, I have a very wonderful God-loving man in my life that knows so much about the Bible and God. Wait a minute.
Yeah, you skipped through that like you.
Wait a minute. I didn't even say it right. Huh? You forgot to tell your aunt something.
Well, no, I think she mentioned a little bit back about dating somebody, and you kind of probably scared her to death.
Is this a
You can ask later.
Well, what do you know? Our little girl's growing up. I'm so proud of you, Megan. That's amazing.
I'm going to share this first prayer request with a story. This gentleman's name is Donald Middlebrooks. And Donald Middlebrooks only knows Amy and I because of Prayer and Share. Back when we called it one of many, many, many different names, prayer
Yeah.
hour and, different things. We've talked to him on the phone before. He might even be listening right now.
Yeah.
Because I keep finding out people are listening that I have no idea. I was at a person's house this week. They called and asked me to come by to pray for somebody, and I did. And the lady there said, "Well, he listens to every time you're on." Well, okay. But Donald Middlebrooks, we're friends now. And I'm telling you about this prayer request and telling you about prayer and share, why we do it still. One of many, many reasons why we still do it. It's not just about our friends that are here. You see, because Donald Middlebrooks lives in Alabama.
Yep.
We would have never met Donald Middlebrooks were it not for him, air quote, stumbling across prayer and share coincidentally. So
No such thing.
we don't believe that for a second.
Nope.
And so Donald messaged me a few days ago and said that he had cancer. And let me go ahead and pull this up.
Well, I got up early one morning and saw that he had posted that he was going into surgery. And it was like 2 hours after that I had seen that. And he said, prayers appreciated.
Well, he had just told me, I think the day before, or a few days before. Well, here's how it started. Last Saturday, he said, just wanted to let you know about a month ago, I found out that I have cancer. Just put me on your prayer list. And I said, consider it done. What are the details? And he said, throat cancer. The only problem is my insurance doesn't cover the surgery to remove the cancer. So I'm hoping the state will give me Medicaid and Medicare. My faith in God will get me through this. I praise his name. And yesterday morning, Amy was up before I was. Well, actually, Amy didn't go to bed yesterday. So, she said, your friend Donald Middlebrooks said that he's having surgery and needs prayer. So yesterday afternoon, I messaged him and said, how did things go? He said, they said I came through my surgery well. Now I have to learn how to take care of my laryngectomy. Thank you for the prayers. And I, of course, said, you'll remain on our prayer list and we'll keep checking. And I asked, well, first of all, I looked up laryngectomy to see, I mean, obviously it has to do with your larynx, throat cancer, and it all makes sense. So I looked it up and then I asked him, how much did they have to remove? Because there can be partial and different things like that. And he said everything. And I asked if he was able to talk. And he said, they're giving me a handheld device. And, you know, people are so good. I'm starting to choke up just thinking about this conversation and how he and I met. And so we're talking about him having cancer surgery. They took his larynx out. He's going to have one of those things where, and you know, where they put that apparatus up to your throat and it sounds horrible, scary to a lot of people. So we're talking about all of this. And you know what his final response was? After he said, thank you, I really enjoyed your interview with Dean Butler.
Oh.
And the funny thing is, of all the interviews I've done through the years, I've had more people in person like this tell me how much they enjoyed that interview.
Wow.
I mean, I'm not talking about comments on the
Right.
page that it's on or on the post itself. Uh, I'm talking about people that have actually said to me, either I've heard them audibly or read a comment like this, that
Wow.
they really enjoyed that Dean Butler interview. And you talk about God things.
That's a God thing for sure.
That Dean Butler interview almost didn't happen.
Right.
And I'm going to sit on that story because God's using that story. But that interview almost didn't happen within seconds of almost not happening.
Yep.
And God is just using that story, that interview. God's using so much right now. And so not Dean, Donald Middlebrooks is on the prayer list. Our country, the church, our elected officials. The reason we started Prayer and Share. One of the only good things I can think that COVID caused was Prayer and Share.
Absolutely.
And it's just, we said from the beginning that we would do, it wasn't called Prayer and Share then, but we would do Prayer and Share until COVID was over or God told us differently.
Yep.
And he hadn't told us any different yet.
Well, absolutely not. As a matter of fact, I think that he's telling us quite the opposite.
Actually, he's telling me right now that it was 4 years ago this week,
Wow. 4 years.
March the 18th, I think, is in
Oh my
2021
goodness.
was the first Prayer and Share.
4 years ago. We've been doing this
No,
4 years.
No, we've been doing.
We've been doing this 5 years.
I'll have to think about it. We'll talk about it next week. About the anniversary, because didn't we start Prayer and Share before we moved here?
Mm-hmm.
No, we couldn't have, because we started this with COVID, and COVID was when we were here.
No, we were doing this at the old house.
Well, we were doing something, but it wasn't. We changed and went strictly to prayer service. Because we started Prayer and Share because of COVID. We were doing a live stream before. We changed the live stream strictly to Prayer and Share 4 years ago this week.
I thought it was 5, but okay.
We've lived here 5 years, and
I know, but we did this at the old church.
but it wasn't Prayer and Share, honey.
Okay.
COVID
Okay.
didn't happen until.
Okay.
So back to the list. The persecuted church, and boy, I've got some things that I could have listed there. We talked about some on Tuesday. Red, White, and True. Pastors and Christian leaders pray for Israel and the peace of Jerusalem. Our law enforcement leaders, the Thin Blue Line, first responders, military, all those that are protecting and serving. Allison, Annie, Aunt Pat and Chuck, Bobby Howe, Bobby McNicholas. For those that, if you didn't hear last week, we've had Bobby Quick on the list for probably over 2 years, and I did Bobby's funeral last Friday, right before I did Prayer and Share. Brent Wallace, Casey Pearson, Sharice, Cindy Crace, Claudine Gillis, Connie Gwynn, Curtis, Danelle Heck, Denise, who is Megan's mom, Dennis Harmison. I told you a long story about him. He is about 2 weeks into his being home, getting stronger, and they're trying to get him that date to have the open heart surgery that he needs. And he's got about half of the financing, not financing, that'd be funding, that he was trying to raise to help pay for that surgery. Donna Brady, we miss her. We've not seen her for
Absolutely.
too many days. And her family. I think her son Bradley has been sick. Ed Bates, the hurricane relief efforts that are still going on. Jason Ray Welch, Jay Darnell. I read this week where he's not having chemo or radiation right now, but it's something that he's still having some kind of treatments being done. Not neither of those two, but it helps him in those. And he had one, and he's got one more to do, I think, or maybe. Anyway, he can only do it once every so many times. So whatever number it is, he just needs our prayer.
Absolutely.
And he has fought hard through such a long period of time.
Very.
Jeannie, Jerry, this is from Macbeth, and it was Ray's best friend. I think she gave us a positive praise report on this. Beth, if you're still listening, remind me on what you said about that. Jill Garris, John, Jordan, Judy, Julia Clay had procedure done today. Haven't heard any update on that, but she was reminded me yesterday to pray for her about today. Kaylee had her baby. Kyle Stillinger, Lee Mathis, Lee Taylor, Linda Kuhn, Linda Post, Linda Post's family. I think her funeral is tomorrow. Loretta Stanley, Marlene, Marvin Wright, Mary Bailey and her family, Marianne Cunningham, Mason, Melissa Beerline, Melissa White, Michelle, Nadine, Travis Brown, Pam, Praying Boy Preston. We've already gave a praise report on Patty.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah.
Penny McCleary, Randy Burton, Rick Cope, Rob Gaskell, Roy Weber. We got to meet Roy at church 2 or 3 Sundays ago. Hope he comes back and sees us again.
Mhm.
That is Ella's brother. Sharon and Phil Harker from Hope. They've been having some serious medical situation, both of them. Shay Michaelonis, Sheila Napier, Sis, Steve Stepp, Sue Foley is home now. Terry Cutzko, Tim Wood, Tony, Tyler. Unspoken with non-Hodgkin's stage 4, non-Hodgkin's lymphoma stage 4. Lynn, Victor Jr., Victor Marks, Yvonne Hudson. I'm pretty sure it was Megan's stepdad that we are supposed to be adding here.
Yep. She said,
Go ahead.
can you add him to the prayer list? He was recently diagnosed with his 6th or 7th time of cancer, this time leukemia, and he just broke his neck when he had a seizure and he'd fallen evidently. But surgery went well. So that's absolutely. Megan said that we could take her off of our prayer list and move her to the secondary, because of her walk with God. And I said, absolutely not.
Actually, I think she asked to be added to the secondary list.
Is that what it said?
I think that's what she meant.
Well, we're not. We're putting her on the first one because we're going to be praising the Lord that she is walking with the Lord and thank Him for what He's doing in her life. Because that's huge, and I'm so proud of her.
God is bound and determined to make me cry tonight. Because earlier, when I told the story about a person I went to pray for this week, and the lady said that he listens all the time. They're obviously listening right now because she just typed in here, keep praying for Marty.
Absolutely.
He has mellitus. I'm not sure. It's diabetes related. I know she told me.
Tanya is asking, can you please put my sister-in-law, Julie Lashley, on the prayer list? She's going to have some medical procedures done, praying for positive results.
I can't remember what Julie posted one day this week, but it was something that almost made me. I must need to go and just cry my eyes out because.
Oh, she did ask to be added to the secondary list. No, you're going on the first one.
We add people to the primary list, and then after things have gotten better or whatever the case is, move them to the secondary list where people remain for the rest of their lives.
Yep.
So that's how that works.
You're on the primary.
Beth said that the surgery that I mentioned a minute ago went well, waiting on pathology. And Megan's stepdad's name is Jim.
Yes.
So.
See, mine are not in any sort of order, so I have to keep going up and down and hope that I don't miss anything because mine are in no order at all. I have no idea why they don't.
Well,
You gonna cry? That's unusual for you.
it's just
God's so good.
I mean, we planned to tell tonight how good God was.
Absolutely.
One story we didn't even get around to. Let's just say God is with us in our times of grief and sees us through. And
that last story that we didn't get to,
yeah,
that was a good one.
We'll just save it for a rainy day. But anyway, we planned on talking about how good God is. Then He just keeps showing me over and over and over that no matter how much you brag on me, I've still got more in the tank. So we can brag on God and still never have bragged even close to enough.
No. It's such a humbling thing for us to be able to brag on God and to be able to share all these things and for Him to allow us to be the vessel to be able to do that.
It's humbling.
It's very humbling.
Humbling. It's closing prayer. Father, humble is what I want to be, coming to you all the time, not just right now, but it is so humbling, Father, to just be able to talk to you, creator of the universe and all things good. And you're still interested in what each of us have to say. You love each one of us. And we know you love us because you sent your son Jesus to die for us. And I just ask, Father, that you would help us to always remain humble. But Father, I ask that you allow us to continue to brag about how good you are. So, Father, keep us humble, but keep us singing your praises loud and from the rooftops. All of these positive requests tonight, answers to prayer, and not just sickness and health issues, but sometimes little things, just like a computer that's causing so much stress for a person at work, and so many other answered prayers that Megan has found a person that loves the Lord and has got her reading the Bible. Just so many things, Father. Our friends that are in here, but also our friends that we wouldn't have known if it wasn't for prayer and share. Father, I specifically lift Donald Middlebrooks up to you tonight. Thank you for bringing him through his surgery. And I pray in the name of Jesus that all things that were negative and part of that issue be gone. Father, help him as he transitions into this part of life where he's going to have a piece of equipment to talk through. Help him with his mental health with that as well. It has to be tough. Father, I pray for our ministry, thanking you for what you have done in the past, thanking you for what you are doing right now, and asking you, Father, to show us the way of what your will is from today forward, and help us to follow you through, knowing that you won't ask us to do anything we're not capable of. You won't ask us to do anything that we can't afford or have the means to pay for. Father, I thank you. We didn't even mention in the answered prayers, 2 ladies giving their life to Jesus last Sunday. Oh my goodness, Father, you are so good. So good. It was amazing. We gathered mostly to listen to a group of men play music. But we allowed the Holy Spirit to be there, and he showed out. He showed out. Thank you, Father, for all of our friends, all of our family, all of our church family, so many of them in here with us, and many of them closer than even our own blood family in many ways. Be a blessing in their lives. Heal those that need healed. Perform miracles for those that need the miracles. And Father, help us to continue to proclaim the good news of Jesus Christ. We pray this all in the holy and precious name of Jesus. Amen. And I meant to mention that, Roberta, actually a lady that had been to the Father's house probably a handful of times, Kay Murray Gibson. People that I know my age refer to her as Kay Murray because that was her maiden name. Gibson was the married name, and she passed away this week. And
Sad.
well, I think I'm talked out.
Are you?
Yeah, I think so.
That's a first.
Oh, now. Well, Tuesday night is Red, White, and True with Ed and Ronnie. Thursday is Bible study here at the Father's house in person, no online.
We had some good food Thursday.
We have good food every
Well, we
Thursday.
do.
And it's never like the same.
No, we sure don't do without. That's a fact.
So there is that. Sunday, 10 o'clock, Old Union, out on 800 North and 50 West. If you don't know how to get there, get a hold of me. We average 20 to 25. We actually had between 40 and 45 last Sunday.
Praise the Lord.
God is good
All the time.
all the time. And then the Father's house right here. Come and see me Sunday night. I've been lonely on Sunday nights. Somebody has to work, and there's been all kinds of things going on with people. So come and see me Sunday night at the Father's house. I think I'm not 100% decided. I think my sermon Sunday is going to be 3:16 because Sunday is 3:16.
Okie doke. Well, that's intriguing.
Been kicking that around, and sometimes I get my sermons way in advance, and sometimes they're last second. And I have a sermon for God so loved the world, but tomorrow I think I'll write a brand new 3:16 sermon.
I hope it doesn't take 3 hours and 16 minutes.
Oh, your niece wants you to make a date for us to come see us.
Absolutely.
So before we start boring you with logistical things.
We probably already have.
Oh, well, I was being optimistic that they
Oh.
stayed around because they weren't bored. But until we see you again, we love every one of you, whether we know you as well as we know Megan and all of our friends from here in the local area, or if it's Donald Middlebrooks, who we met online. We love every one of you. And until we see you again, go out and do
The right thing.